What's good, guys? Today we're going to be making a trap beat. I've just bought some new portal banks, so we're going to be trying those out as well. Jump straight into Ableton. Okay, so for this one today, I'm just going to set my tempo here at 150 BPM, and we're just going to go into the scale of E minor. I'm just going to start out with this Morning Sun preset here in Analog Lab. Really, I want to keep this super simple. I kind of want Portal to do all the hard work here on this melody, just so I can test out the banks. So instead of starting on the root note, we're just going to start on this tension block here. Go up an octave. And let's come to just some more tension notes. So maybe something like this. And then on this one, we'll pull it up. Copy that over. Copy that over again. And then I think here on this side, start up here. I'm quite liking that. So let's just randomize these. We'll just pull them down a bit as well, just to soften them slightly. Let's double that up an octave as well. And then we'll just drop the velocity on the lower octave. Make sure we take out the really kind of low sub here. Boost some of the highs as well. Drop the volume. We're just going to add some ROM as well. Let's just take the first note of each bar here and we'll just copy these onto a new MIDI layer. I'm just going to hit legato here to stretch them out. Then we'll turn these into some simple chords, even just some power chords like this maybe. On this one, we could even bring this back in, or we could just double this up with a B down here. Copy that across. On this one here, I'm just going to go for a pad, so I've loaded up Xenology. Let's go for one of these synth pad strings. Quite like the feel of this one straight away. Pull the volume down. I think here, just to keep it dark, let's pull that up. Same here. Take out the low end rumble. Also just wash this out with some ROM. Drop the volume a bit further. I'm just going to use some volume shaping from Shaperbox on this just to give it a bit of rhythm as well. Let's set this onto 1/4. While we're here, I'm just going to try out this liquid shaper on it as well. Quite like it here on this setting. So with this off, it's like this. Then when you've got it on, a very slight kind of change. Makes it a bit more kind of atmospheric in the background. Bring the volume slightly back up. So now that we've got two really simple layers, I'm just going to go ahead and convert this into audio. Then we can play around with the pitch and try different portal banks on them. Let's just group these together, and then we're just going to bounce group in place. Okay, so the banks that I've purchased here are the Vision Volume 1 and Volume 2. Now these are from Prod by Viam, so shout out to Prod by Viam. I'm by no means affiliated with him. I bought these with my own money. I just really enjoy his portal banks. I already own the Inception one, so I thought I'd check these out as well. Let's try some of these out. Switches it up straight away. I don't think that's quite what I'm looking for on this beat, but I do quite like the effect. The thing about Portal, you never quite know what the patches are going to do. Try some from Volume 2 as well. Quite like the feel of this one. Let's just convert this down into audio. And I always find with the way that Portal works, kind of doesn't quite kick in straight away. I'm just going to go ahead and set it to 1/1 here. Then we'll just stretch this out. I always find as well at the start, sometimes you get like a little bit of a weird effect, which you don't get on the second part. So I'm just going to copy this one over here. And then same here with the end. Kind of fades out there, but I kind of want it to end like this. So let's copy this one over here. And then we'll just hit Control and J to consolidate that. There we go. That's kind of got a nice vibe to it. Let's just try playing with the pitch here. So I'm just going to bring some of this gain back up. Make sure it's set to complex. And we'll just drop it down by a couple. Go down by 2, that would be D minor. Right, let's try 3, which is C sharp minor. Sounds really dark now. So now that we have that, I think it would pair really well with a choir. I'm just going to go for this 14th Street one here in Heat Up 3. I'm just going to place these in as stabs. So we could go for the full chord here, but I think I'm just going to take out the middle note, copy that over so it's got a bit of rhythm to it. And here we'll just take that one up. Take that up an octave, just copy that across. Bring the volume on this down. We're just going to go ahead and add some replica to this as well. Pull the mix up on this. We'll just drop the feedback down a bit. Gives it a nice kind of bit of rhythm. Got that volume further. I'm going to make sure that I put the console 1 plugin back on the first channel as well. Now we can drop the volume on that a little bit too. We'll just drop this one further. Next, I think I want to add a violin. I've just come into Opus by East West. I'm just going to go for something out of these Hollywood strings. Go for 18 violins. I'm just going to go for this sus light patch. For this, we're just going to come in really simple. Do that here as well, but we'll take this one up. Kind of helps set the tone. Pull in another string as well. Once again, we'll just come back into these East West Hollywood strings. Come into the first violins this time. And let's go for maybe a spiccato. So we can do a call and response here with this layer. So if we just go for something here. Put that over as well. And normally with the call and response, I'd have the call and then the response and a call again and a response. We're just kind of doubling up the response here. Then we're kind of having the call at the end and the start. It's a bit different, but I think it works. By putting these an octave up, we're just doubling them up, in fact. I feel like we should just randomize these velocities as well. Maybe take this lower one down. Copy that over. And in fact, let's delete the second half here just so we can humanize this half. And then we'll copy this over just so that it's humanized, but it's the same on both 4-bar patterns. Take out this low end rumble. Add a little bit of high end as well. Got the volume. So now that we've got those layers in, let's set the tone here. So I'm just going to add some noir in and even leave this straight on the basic pure. Before we add this in though, let's just drop some volumes just to give us a bit more kind of headroom. Try the root note here. Quite like it on this G sharp actually. Quite like that. Just double that up an octave as well. Take out the sub. Boost this slightly in the high end. Take the volume down a bit. Add in that tubular bell as well, just to kind of set the tone. I'm going to put this on the exact same note that we've just put the piano, so just on the G sharp here. Do the same here as well. Got the volume on that slightly. I also just want to add some delay, so let's go for some replica. Take this up to 1/4 maybe. Pull this feedback down. Right, let's take it up. So I kind of want 3 hits here. Just turn the mix up slightly as well. Make sure we got this low cut on. And then I think here, I just don't want this replica on this note. I don't want it to repeat here. Let's make sure that we turn it off. So we're just going to do some device on automation here. We'll make sure we turn it off at this point. Sounds much cleaner now. And now that we've got a few different layers, let's set the bounce here with some drums. Just going to start out with a hi-hat today. Make sure we bring the sustain down as I want it really short and snappy. And all we're going to do here really simply is just use apes. Pull the second one down. Bring these all the way across. Then just for some variation, we're going to put a 16th at the start of each bar. Maybe the start of every second bar actually. So we can just copy this over. And then as far as rolls, I'm just going to come into the triplet grid here on the 32s. And we're just going to do some at the end. Really don't want to do too much on this. On this one here, let's maybe do 2. On this bar here, we'll just leave it. And then maybe at the end here, we could come in and let's do 1 here all the way across. And let's go for 1 here as well. Right, let's pull those all the way across. And I think maybe just add an extra 16th in here. Drop the volume slightly. Come into the controls as well. We'll add some random panning. I think for this, I just want to take the pitch up by 1 as well. Let's just transpose it up by 1. Maybe here we could just bring this up. Same on this one. This one here, we'll just bring it down. About this one here, I just want to leave normal. And then this whole section here, I think I'm just going to take down by 2. Add in some lower notes as well, just for a little bit of bounce. We'll drop the velocity on these. And then maybe here we'll just do that extra one. Grab the whole lot and we'll just randomize it very slightly. Go for about 12. Little differences. Just drop the volume on that slightly further. Then we'll go ahead and add in a drum rack. I'm going to go for this snare here. Copy that over. And here we'll add an extra hit as well. Extra one here at the end. Just bring the velocity on these down. Highlight all of them by holding shift. That will leave that one here up, but these ones we'll just bring down. Back that up with another snare as well. This one here we'll just place here and here. Copy that all the way across. We'll just come in and drop the volume on these. For this snare here, I'm just going to drop slightly. This one here will drop a little bit further. And we'll just drop this hi-hat slightly further again as well. Add a spins in here as well. So I'm just going to set that onto one-shot mode. And the question is, do we want it on the C sharp here? Or do we want to do the same as the piano and have it on the G sharp? I think both options sound quite good. However, I'm going to go for the C sharp here, but then we'll just add some variation with the G sharp as well. Do that same one again, and then let's add some variation here as well. Add an extra hit in here too. And then just for some variation here, we could maybe add in this. Let's just add like a roll of 32s behind that as well. We just use this ramp function here. Add in an extra hit here as well. And we'll just add some variation in here as well. So let's go for some 16th triplets. Maybe here we just bring it to there. But what note do we have here on the piano? We have the A. Let's just bring that up to the A there. Change this to PRD and just add some drive. And once again, just for some headroom, I'm just going to go ahead and select everything apart from the drum rack, and we're just going to pull them down. We'll do the same with the spins. Let's just pull that down as well. And then the drum rack, just because my faders only kind of work on the main drum rack here, we'll just go ahead and highlight these together and just pull these down as well. This will give us plenty of headroom for a kick. Kick wise, I'm either thinking this one or this one. I'm not really too sure yet. We're basically just going to follow the pattern of the 808 here. Won't do this one here where there's a snare, but we'll do this one here. And we won't do where there's like little rolls with the 808 either. We'll just keep it really simple with the kick. In fact, we can maybe double this one up where we have this snare as well. Copy that over. Then we could add a few extra ones in for bounce as well. Sounds hard, I like the bounce on it. Go ahead and add some percussion in as well. I'm just going to use the Ember Crash out of the Keep It 500 kit. As always, this is a completely free kit and the link is in the description below the video. Just place this here at the start. I like to do this on pretty much all of my beats, to be fair. Kind of adds in some impact. Then here we'll do one again. Do another one with some lower velocity. And let's go for one here as well. Make sure we drop the volume on this. Kind of only want it to be there just kind of for its presence to add the impact. So we don't want it too loud. Go, I'm liking that. Next, let's find a triangle. So I'll just hit Control and F. I'm just going to literally scroll my wheel here. Fill in this one here. Now, the reason why I like to put my drums into the drum rack is so I can see where the different elements are. I can find little pockets for space for the percussion. For instance, we know there's nothing playing here. Copy that over. Now, I can see there's a crash on this one here. Maybe we just move this. We could even bring it across into the second part. Or even better, maybe here. There we go, that's completely free. Now, of course, the other way to get space in percussion as well is with panning them. Let's take this out to the right. And we just need to drop the volume on this too. Go for this rim shot here as well. And let's maybe do something like this. We can go the opposite way with this and take it out left. Bring the volume down. Recently I've been putting a lot of stomps in beats, so let's find a stomp. Maybe we could go for something like this. In fact, I think this might layer really nicely on a snare. Make sure we bring the volume on this down as well. Just a little touch further on that. Find an actual stomp like this one as well to layer on some kicks. This is from J Cactus Kit, so shout out to J Cactus. And here, let's maybe go for just on some of the kicks like this. Let's pull that into every kind of 2-bar pattern. We'll just make sure we drop the volume on this as well. Want it to be quite kind of subtle. Go for this open hat here from Dixon Beats as well. Shout out to Dixon too. Make sure we unsnap this here. Let's maybe do a pattern like this. Copy that all the way across. And of course, we'll just drop the volume on that as well. And that's slightly right. Feel like it needs to come down just a touch more. Let's also go for like a metal clang. Maybe like this one here. Sounds almost like a fence or something. And let's do something like that, but we'll just use this ramp function here. Let's copy that all the way across as well. And of course, drop the volume as well. Maybe even add some random panning to these. Go for about 30. 28 will do. Add in like a laser zap as well. Hitting all the stereotypical kind of trap sounds at the moment. Let's just find a little pocket for space in this. Maybe here. Drop the velocity on these. I think we just have this first hit here. Let's take these second ones out. Now you can keep filling different pockets of space with percussion, but sometimes I think it's quite easy to overdo it as well. I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, so back on the melody here, go ahead and add in another violin as well. This will just be for the chorus section. Go for something out of the Hollywood strings. Let's try the second violin's divisi. We could even try some short ones maybe. And let's just do something with these tension notes. Even something just really simple like this. And maybe we could add some variation here at the end of the 4th bar. Feeling that, sounds kind of menacing. I think here we could add some replica as well. Try 1/4. And then I think I won't want it on these sections here. But let's just come to this device on. I'm going to set this into like 1/8. Just make sure we take it off here. And then we'll just copy that over. Sounds much cleaner. Take out the low end. See how this sounds an octave up as well. Quite like that. So let's drop it an octave here. We'll take the second part an octave up. Let's maybe drop this one down. That way we're kind of building up here, drop into this. Then we're kind of bringing it back down here to drop back into this. And I think maybe we could do a call and response on this layer as well, just for the chorus section. So we could drop something in here. Maybe we do something the opposite way around. So this one's high pitched. And then on this section here, it becomes lower again. So for this layer, I'm thinking maybe just some more choir stabs. We're coming to heat up 3. I'm just going to try a few different patches. I've got a few different ones favorited. Okay, so after browsing for a few minutes, I'm going to go with this radio choir preset. What I'm thinking here is just some stabs like this. And then we can drop it down to this. Exactly the same, but just an octave below. So let's go ahead and record that in. Just grab these notes and quantize them. Pull the velocity on these up a bit as well, and we'll just copy these ones over. And we'll just copy these over again, and I'll just shift them an octave down. Kind of easier, just so we got kind of even velocities between the 2 different sections. Just going to bring the volume on that back up. I'm going to come into this core panner here. set this a little bit further back. Maybe add a snare roll in here as well. Go for this snare here. However, we're just going to drop the volume on this down. Maybe do something here at the kind of end of the 8-bar pattern. Do maybe some 32 triplets here. Just take these notes a little bit higher. We'll drop this one down. And we'll come back into the normal kind of grid here. Go for 16ths. And let's do some 32 triplets again just here at the end. Actually, instead of having triplets here, I think just 2 hits. Take that one out. Then because we've got that snare roll here, just deactivate that one there. Then just leading out the chorus section, it'll be like this. Do random panning on these as well. Take it quite high. Make sure we drop that volume further. I think that's a little bit too much panning, so let's just pull this back a bit. Maybe go for about 20%. There we go, I'm liking that. Make sure we take out the low end from this as well. We just add a little bit more kind of snap up here. Volume slightly too. In fact, instead of that, let's add a bit more of this kind of low end part. Take this slightly further back. Now let's separate out our drums so that we can do a little bit of structuring on this. I'm just going to go in and rename them all. So now that we've got all the drums laid out and everything's been named, we can go ahead and add a little bit of structure to this. Let's just start with like an intro, pull the bell melody back, pull the low piano in as well from here. And then maybe where we have the tubular bell here, just have a gap. We'll just kick that into the chorus section. Quite often if I'm making beats for BeatStars, I like to kind of start going straight into the chorus section so that people don't switch off before the actual main part comes in. And as this is 8 bars, but we're at a double time tempo, I'm going to loop this for 16. I think we maybe take this part out here. And I think we probably don't want the snare roll here. We can come back into this snare pattern here. Make sure we activate that one back on. This one here where we don't have it, I'm just going to change the color on it. Maybe we even take out this second choir here. This will just give us like a bit of kind of variation for our chorus. Drop this out into this and this. Bring the 808 in as well. Also bring the snare across. Need to make sure we bring the hi-hat over as well. Keep going with the low piano too. Bring the crash over just to kind of make the transition a little bit easier. Pull some of these back as well. Even go a little bit further than that and take some of this percussion back. Pull this hat back as well. And maybe here, just to transition into the next section, pull the 808s back. Actually, let's change up the pattern here. So let's pull the snares out. And here on the kicks, just add something like this. Pull the snares back, see where our kicks are, and we can match this with the 808s. So something like that. Really nice, easy, simple transition. Could even come into the bell melody if we want and just kind of repeat this to match it too. If we just double this over as 8s as well. Nice and simple, kick it back into the next part. Change the color on this one. Make sure we bring the hats back in, as that's got all the energy in it. Bring this low piano over as well, and we'll just bring the tubular bell in at this point too. Maybe we could even bring some choir stops. I think this choir needs to be a little bit louder now. Maybe at this point we bring the violin in as well. Maybe even bring these in. Bring this back over, of course. We probably need to add in some extra percussion here as well. Bring this open hat across. Bring the zap over as well. Maybe even bring this rim over. There we go, I'm liking that. Bring this crash over again. Of course, bring the 808s back across again. And maybe on this part here, we bring in these spiccatos. Actually, I'm feeling that for the section before the chorus. Maybe at this point we make some variation on this bell melody. Bring in a shaper box. I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid shaping. Without it. And with it. Makes it a little bit darker, in fact. Let's just automate that on and off. In fact, maybe we keep that on this whole section here. Then it kicks back in when it gets to the chorus. Let's just copy that over. Make sure it's all the way like that as it kicks into this part. Sounds crazy. Bring the snare over as well. We'll just add that small break in there as well. Same with the hats too. Bring the triangle across at this point. Make sure we don't bring it in until after here though, when the hats come back in. Bring this metal perk over. Bring the stomp over as well. At this point here, before the chorus, let's bring the 808 over. Bring the low piano back in. Make sure we got this choir in as well. Actually, instead of the choir, let's pull the spiccato in. I think the tubular bell would go nice here as well. Make sure we bring the snare in just to keep a bit of rhythm as well. Pull it out from there. Also, I think with the second snare, let's pull it in on this section here. We'll have it here as well. And then with the same as the intro here, where we just have that tubular bell kicking in, do the same thing again here. But let's just pull these out. What I usually like to do is kind of make my transitions kind of flow quite easily without doing anything extra. And then if I feel like it needs a riser or something like that, I put it in after. Take this out here, I think. Feel that works nicely. So here, let's take out the 808, pull the percussion out as well. I kind of want to pull everything back behind the snares. In fact, let's pull everything back, including the melody. I can hear the reverb tail of this is just kind of carrying on. Let's make sure we automate that out. The mixer, speaker on. Let's turn this off. Same on this one as well. Same with the 808 too. Kind of just want like a clean transition section. Let's make sure it cuts out there. Then I feel like here we could add in like a sound effect. I use different ones depending on the beat. For this one, I'm feeling like either like a sword or maybe a crow. Sounds a bit crazy, but it works. Maybe try a sword, something like that. Place that there. I want to pull it back a little bit. It kind of layers with the snare there. Then we'll add in a little riser as well. Just going to come into Error the Producer's 404 pack. I use this all the time, especially for the risers. Shout out to Error. The main one I use is this tiny riser. Let's switch it up today and go for something different. Go for this big whoosh. But make sure we unwarp that as well, which might change the timing on it slightly. And on this, of course, we're going to drop the volume down as well. Then here, maybe we can use this snare roll, because obviously I cut it out before. Let's just put it back in here. Pull this over here as well. So because we got that, let's pull these snares back. Pull some of these back as well. Pull the kick back as well. Right, let's do the hat as well. And let's do the snares all the way back to the start of this kind of snare roll. And just like a nice little break here. Then I think just for going back into the chorus section, we could go ahead and use this tiny riser as well. Pull that into here. Make sure we unwarp it. And we'll just set the grid smaller. Pull this in so it's like that, and we'll just bring this volume down. Feeling that. All we need to do there is kind of copy this over. And here at the end, we'll just double the chorus over, and we'll get rid of the snare roll at this point. Put all these back in all the way. Double this one over here like this. Same here. All of these, we'll just pull them in. Get rid of the snare roll at the end. Double these over too. Take the kick out here, take the hat out here. Some of the perks out too. Drop some of these back. Drop the 808 out here. Drop this out. And then let's either end it on the tubular bell. That works nicely. We could end it on the low piano instead. Maybe we could even do both. And here on this part, let's just turn the replica off. And that'll do for the outro. Right then, guys, so we've basically got the fully structured beat here. I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick mix and then play you out with the final beat. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the cook-up. Let me know what you think of this one in the comments down below. As I said earlier in the video, I really recommend Prod by Vimes portal banks, especially if you're making dark trap. They're absolutely great. Let me know your favorite effect banks down in the comments below as well, as there might be some portal banks that I've missed that I've been sleeping on that I really should be using. And until next time, I've been SK. Peace.